Now we look on to the seventh Hadoop component, that is Mahout. Mahout provides a platform for creating machine learning applications which are scalable. What is machine learning? Machine learning algorithms allows us to create self-evolving machines without being explicitly programmed. It makes future decisions based on user behavior, past experiences and data patterns. What Mahout does? It performs collaborative filtering, clustering and classification. So let's understand one by one. First thing is collaborative filtering. Mahout mines user behavior patterns and based on these it makes recommendations to users. Clustering. It groups together a similar type of data like the article, blogs, research paper, news, etc. Classification. It means categorizing the data into various sub-departments. For example, we can classify article into blogs, essays, research papers and so on. Frequent item set missing. It looks for the item generally bought together and based on that it gives a suggestion. For instance, usually we buy a cell phone and it's covered together. So when you buy a cell phone, it will give suggestion to buy cover also. Next we move on to the Zookeeper. Zookeeper coordinates between various services in the Hadoop ecosystem. It saves the time required for synchronization, configuration, maintenance, grouping and naming. So here are some of the features of Zookeeper. Speed. Zookeeper is fast in workloads where reads the data and more than write. A typical read-write ratio is 10:1. Organized. Zookeeper maintains a record of all transactions. Simple. It maintains a single hierarchical namespace similar to directories and files. Reliable. We can replicate Zookeeper over a set of hosts and they are aware of each other. There is no single point of failure. As long as major servers are available, Zookeeper is available. So why do we need Zookeeper in Hadoop? Hadoop faces many problems as it runs a distributed application. One of the problems is deadlock. Deadlock occurs when two or more tasks fight for the same resource. For instance, a task T1 has resource R1 and is waiting for resource R2 held by task T2. And this task T2 is waiting for resource R1 held by task T1. In such a scenario, deadlock occurs. Both tasks T1 and T2 would get locked waiting for resources. Zookeeper solves deadlock condition via synchronization. Another problem is of race condition. This occurs when the machine tries to perform two or more operations at a time. Zookeeper solves this problem by property of serialization. Next we understand about Woozy. It is a workflow scheduler system for managing Hadoop jobs. It supports Hadoop jobs for MapReduce, Pig, Hive and Scoop. Woozy combines multiple jobs into a single unit of work. It is scalable and can manage thousands of workflow in a Hadoop cluster. Woozy works by creating DAG, that is directed acyclic graph of the workflow. It is very much flexible as it can start, stop, suspend and return failed jobs. Woozy is an open source web application written in Java. Woozy is scalable and can execute thousands of workflow containing dozens of Hadoop jobs. There are three basic types of Woozy jobs and they are as workflow, coordinator and bundle. Workflow. It stores and runs a workflow composed of Hadoop jobs. It stores the job as directed acyclic graph to determine the sequence of actions that will get executed. Coordinator. It runs workflow jobs based on predefined schedules and availability of data. Bundle. This is nothing but a package of many coordinators and workflow jobs. Next thing we have understand about how does Woozy work. Woozy runs a service in the Hadoop cluster. Client submits workflow to run immediately or later. There are two types of nodes in Woozy. They are action node and control flow node. Action node represents the task in the workflow like MapReduce job, shell script, Pig or Hive jobs, etc. Control flow node controls the workflow between actions by employing conditional logic. In this, the previous action decides which branch to follow. Start, end and error nodes fall under this category. Start node signals starts of the workflow job. End node designates the end of job and error node signals the error and gives an error message. Next we understand about the another Hadoop component, that is Scoop. Scoop imports the data from external sources into compatible Hadoop ecosystem components like HDFS, Hive, HBase, etc. It also transfers data from Hadoop to other external sources. It works with RDBMS like Teradata, Oracle, MySQL and so on. The major difference between Scoop and Flume is that Flume does not work with structured data, but Scoop can deal with structured as well as unstructured data. So let us see how Scoop works. When we submit Scoop command, at the backend it gets divided into a number of subtasks. These subtasks are nothing but map tasks. Each map task import a part of data to Hadoop. Hence all the map tasks taken together imports the whole data. Scoop export also works in a similar way. Only thing is, instead of importing, the map task export the part of data from Hadoop to destination database. Next one is Flume. It is a service which helps to ingest structured and semi-structured data into HDFS. Flume works on the principle of distributed processing. It aids in collection, aggregation and movement of huge amount of data sets. Flume has three components: source, sink and channel. Source accepts the data from incoming stream and stores the data in the channel. Channel, it is a medium of temporary storage between the source of the data and persistent storage of HDFS. And sink, this component collects the data from the HDFS channel and writes it permanently to the HDFS. Next one is Ambari. Ambari is another Hadoop ecosystem component. It is responsible for provisioning, managing, monitoring and securing Hadoop cluster. So here are some of the different features of Ambari. Simplified cluster configuration, management and installation. Ambari reduces the complexity of configuring and administration of Hadoop cluster security, and it ensures that the cluster is healthy and available for monitoring. Ambari gives Hadoop cluster provisioning, Hadoop cluster management and Hadoop cluster monitoring. Hadoop cluster provisioning. It gives step-by-step procedure for installing Hadoop services on the Hadoop cluster. It also handles configuration of services across the Hadoop cluster. Then Hadoop cluster management. It provides centralized service for starting, stopping and reconfiguring services on the network of machines. Then Hadoop cluster monitoring. Hadoop cluster monitoring. To monitor health and status, Ambari provides us dashboard. Ambari Alert Framework alerts the user when the node goes down and has low disk space, etc. Next, we move on to the Apache Drill. Apache Drill is a schema-free SQL query engine. It works on the top of Hadoop. No SQL and cloud storage. Its main purpose is large-scale processing of data with low latency. It is a distributed query processing engine. We can query petabytes of data using Drill. It can scale to several thousands of nodes. It supports NoSQL databases like Azure Blob Storage, Google Cloud Storage, Amazon S3 and HBase, MongoDB and so on. So let's look at some of the features of Drill. Variety of data sources can be the basis of a single query. Drill follows ANSI SQL. It can support millions of users and serve their queries over large data sets. Drill gives faster insights with ETL overheads like loading, schema creation, maintenance, transformation, etc. And it can analyze multi-structured and nested data without having to do transformations or filtering. Next one is Apache Spark. Apache Spark unifies all kinds of big data processing under one umbrella. It has built-in libraries for streaming, NoSQL, machine learning and graph processing. Apache Spark is lightning fast. It gives good performance for both batch and stream processing. It does this with the help of DAG scheduler, query optimizer and physical execution engine. Spark offers 80 high-level operators, which makes it easy to build parallel applications. Spark has various libraries like MLlib for machine learning, GraphX for graph processing, SQL for data frames and Spark streaming. One can run Spark in standalone cluster mode on Hadoop, Mesos and on Kubernetes. One can write Spark applications using SQL, R, Python, Scala and Java. As such, Scala is the native language of Spark. It was originally developed at the University of California, Berkeley, and Spark does in-memory calculations. This makes Spark faster than Hadoop MapReduce. So here the Hadoop ecosystem elements described above are the all open system Apache Hadoop project. Many commercial applications use these ecosystem elements. So let us summarize Hadoop ecosystem components. At the core, we have HDFS for data storage, MapReduce for data processing, and Yarn, a resource manager. Then we have a Hive, a data analysis tool, Pig, SQL like a scripting language, and HBase, NoSQL database. Mahout is machine learning tool, and Zookeeper, a synchronization tool, and Oozie is a workflow scheduler system, and Scoop is the structured data importing and exporting utility, and Flume, data transfer tool for unstructured and semi-structured data, and Ambari, a tool for managing and securing Hadoop clusters, and lastly, it can serialization of data framework. So since you are familiar with the Hadoop ecosystem and components, and here are ready to learn more in Hadoop, and check out the other videos for Hadoop.